Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome to another challenge. Today we're playing a challenge at the top of the hour right after the latest Splatfest wrapped up here in Splatoon 3. Give it up for Team Rice, baby! We take that win and we ride all the way home into Splatsville to get ourselves some glorious sea snails. But enough bragging about being on the winning team. Go Team Rice, by the way. Go Rice. We're here to play Sheldon's Gear Ability Shuffle. Let Sheldon pick your loadout for a battle of random weapons and gear abilities. Make the most of a random assortment of Sheldon's weapons and gear abilities in this test of adaptability. You'll be assigned gear abilities and a weapon at the start of the battle. One gear ability you receive will be set to maximum power. Your secondary gear abilities will also be assigned regardless of the available slots on your gear. And once the battle ends, your gear's previous abilities will be restored. So, this is very similar to other Sheldon ability shuffle, gear shuffle, and such. We've had challenges very similar to this in the past, but this time around, instead of Sheldon giving you different gear to wear, he's changing out the slots on your gear itself. So before we jump in, I want to show the stuff I'm wearing currently, because we know we're probably not going to get the weapon I'm using, the Nautilus 79, but my Squid Band here has come back at its main ability with Special Saver, Intensify Action, and Quick Super Jump. My O.R.C.A Bolero here, this nice sweater, has Run Speed Up as its main and 3 Swims as its sub, and the Cream High Tops have Stealth Jump with an Ink Resist Up, Quick Super Jump, and Bomb Defense. So, these abilities, there's a great chance we don't get any of these on our gear set. So let's jump in and see how exactly this challenge will play out. We'll be playing our 5 games as normal, getting our set challenge power. Then I'll be playing after the fact, just trying to get my power up and see where I stack up in that set 2-hour rotation. But this set challenge here, the Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge, is the last one we know of for this current season of Splatoon 3. At the time of filming this, this is getting close to the end of Sizzle Season 2024. And we're getting into the 2-year anniversary mark of Splatoon 3. Nintendo promised 2 years of support for Splatoon 3. So, I'm personally thinking that this Sheldon Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge may be our last brand new challenge in Splatoon 3. We'll see going to the next season or not, but for now, let's make the most of this. Starting off, we got ourselves an L3 nozzle nose, and we have a bunch of bomb defense. Okay, and that's what we roll, huh? Sure. So we start off by rolling an ability, how like what we would with Spike or Merch in their set plazas. And at this point, we have nothing but that set ability. I have no idea what any of my subs could even be at this point, but I guess I'm just bomb defense only at this point. Nothing but bomb defense. Hopefully at that point we can take advantage of this. I mean, I wouldn't recommend running everything as bomb defense. That's just a little extreme. But, alright, that's what we're doing in this game. That's fine. Got ourselves splat zones here on Hagglefish Market and Barnacle and Dime. So, both maps here very similar in size. Although, this map has a little bit more going for it when it comes to flank routes, because we need to take a lot of different paths to get to the same objective here. Careful here. I'm just trying to get an idea of what everyone else is rocking. Oh, come on. Immediately we started the game and one of our teammates DC'd. I mean, now we got to see at least when someone splatted us, they had nothing but just Ink Resist Up. So whatever main ability we get as that primary, our 3 secondaries are going to be that specific thing. And sure enough, the results confirm that theory, with my gear all being bomb defense, which, I don't know about that one, Chief. That's a little much. So, this is going to be very interesting. We're going to basically just have a maxed out version of our abilities here. And, man, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. So, we have an idea of how this works now. So, that first game is a wash. So, let's try this again. Got a little bit of a sneak peek of what to expect at this point. So, hopefully this time we get another game without people DCing in the middle of it. I mean, that'd be ideal at this point. So, let's just hopefully get another game within like a short amount of time, and they don't all DC on us, or anyone at all, for that matter. But this is very similar to the last Sheldon randomizer challenge specifically, as one of the previous Sheldon randomizer challenges we had featured in Splatoon 3. The weapons were randomized, but also your gear was randomized with the amiibo gear specifically, so you always had something different going to every match, but you only had that one primary ability. That was it. There was no secondary abilities at all. So this time around is a little bit different because we do have secondary abilities. It's just the primary just being jacked up to max. This time we have nothing but ink resist. My teammate also has different looks of things with the brush. That's probably good for a brush player. Then we got a lot of special saver on our octa brush and a lot of run speed on our roller, which I guess that could work for a roller. It can be a little more situational on that front. But it's a very interesting concept to randomize everybody's gear like this, just to all have different abilities. I do like that as a concept. It's a really interesting idea. Definitely still having all these abilities being maxed out to its fullest potential too. But that does make me think, based on how we're getting one specific ability, we cannot get any gear specific exclusives. So we're not going to get things like comeback, stealth jump, flash effort, ninja squid, stuff like that. We're only going to get the abilities that can be on every piece of gear, because there's no way you can maximize ninja squid on your headgear or your shoes. That's just impossible, for example. So because of that, there are going to be certain abilities we're just never going to see in the pool of abilities for this. So that's a good thing to keep in mind when you're really thinking about it. If you play with those very specific abilities, you're never going to have access to them in this set challenge. Alright, looks like we got a kill there. That's good. Try to take out their Flash Blaster. Unfortunately, I took a little damage going into that fight, so they had one shot over me to kill, which was a big difference there. Kind of want to get over into mid here soon enough, but they're really pushing with their specials. We got to be very careful. If I can fill out my special, that'd be really ideal right now, because I do have a Trizuka, and Trizuka is a really powerful special, especially here for Splatoon. So I want to use this to pressure people away. Take care of our right here near the base. Definitely gonna ink this area up as fast as we can because we are right at the tail end of this game. And unfortunately, there is no coming back from this. That is GG's. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more there, but you know, sometimes it just be that way in Splatoon. So we did our best. Only so much you can really do there. So hopefully next time we get some better rolls on our abilities, because honestly, if I'm going to get a max of any specific ability, I would prefer probably to get maxed of very useful ones. So quick super jump would be really nice because you can jump right back in. Ink resist is pretty helpful, but it depends on the weapon, really. I would say any ink saving one, specifically ink saver main, would be massive, and swim speed would also be really good too. So these are just some ideas, but now we're going to experiment here. Because remember, the rules say we get 3 sub-abilities no matter if we have 3 subs on our gear or not. So we can experiment with that a bit. So I can take, say, let's see, what's a good headpiece here? I can use this one, the Octavio Dome, as my headgear. Then we can take for our shirt, sure, let's go with pink hoodie. And then our shoes, just to round this out. I'm going to get a third thing, but this said piece of shoe is going to have something empty on it. Let's see, do we have a thing like that here? I have so many different shoes, it's hard to really keep up at this point. If not, we can just use one with only 3 abilities on it anyways.
2 very boring minutes later.
Here we go. Finally found a pair of shoes. That took a hot minute. The Aero Toasties Blue. We can use these because this only has 1 thing on it so far. The other 2 slots are empty. And this will tell us, too, if this gear will actually get experience or not. It should. So we'll find out. Let's go ahead and jump into our next game. Again, it doesn't matter what weapon we pick because that weapon is not going to be what we actually have going into the game. So don't worry about your weapon pick here because I'm not using Nautilus in this next game unless they're kind enough to give me Nautilus. That's the one we're not exactly sure about, so we'll find out. But going into game 2 here, let's see, what exactly do we have? We're back at Hagglefish, perfect. We get Revenge. And we are, ooh, a Tri-Slosher. I do believe that is the normal one, though. No, it is Nouveau. Perfect. This is the one I play. This is great. And now we're getting ourselves a bunch of run speed. Oh. Run speed doesn't work on this weapon, so that's kind of why I'm like, eh. Run speed would be good to have on like a Splatling or a Charger, so if I had one of those weapons, I'd prefer it. But unfortunately right now, I'm not going to get the most out of run speed here. Although you run really fast with max run speed, so if I'm not shooting my weapon, this can be very beneficial. But mind you, not exactly what I want, but I can still work with it. Let's not kid ourselves here. Back in. Look at my teammates. We got a lot of... Ooh, that's really good. If you can get a lot of quick respawn, that's probably the best case scenario for like having the maxed out abilities, because a lot of quick respawn will get you right back in the game basically instantaneously. So if you have a lot of quick respawn, that's probably a really good ability as well to have in the Shuffler. Someone has a lot of Ink Saver main I saw, and also a lot of Ink Saver sub. I'm just the one with the ability that just didn't work all that well for said weapon. That's unfortunate, but my teammates definitely can take advantage of their abilities. Get back into the zone here. Really hard to contest the zone right now because we're not really staying in the middle for too long. But that's the unfortunate thing. Then jump over here. Looks like they're on the canopy, so I should be okay. Because I gotta remember, no stealth jump. And I'm so used to having that ability, so. Throw in a fizzy, but unfortunately we had like no time. That game was really fast as well. I'm noticing a trend here, but that's usually the case in these Sheldon randomizer challenges, because the previous ones we played, the Sheldon Sampler Challenge and also the Sheldon Dress Up Showdown, both of those being random weapon challenges, they ended basically all the time with knockouts. Because everybody was getting weapons they're not familiar with, and because of that, one team definitely struggled more than the other. No exception here, same exact problem. So, I've expected that to be happening quite a lot here, not gonna lie. But it's nice at least that this one is a Splat Zone challenge, kind of like the first one, the Sampler Showdown. But hey, look at that. We do get an ability on our gear. So the gear still does get experience. So if you want experience on your gear, you just pick stuff now that you're going to want to use. And that's perfect because I actually do, ironically enough, I do have something I need to level up here for chunks. And specifically for what I need to do, I know for a fact that this specific piece of gear, it doesn't need to have anything specific on it, like for drinks, so I can easily get this thing charged up, and it's in this specific pile. Is my gray Vector T. So I'm gonna level this up. And unfortunately, you can't check what to level up when you're just looking at things in your inventory, which is a problem I've had with Splatoon 3 since launch. This makes zero sense to me. It's kind of a downgrade in comparison to what we came off of with Splatoon 1 and 2. I don't know how we downgraded, but here we are. So, might as well just grab me some very interesting gear here. Put on the mask. I don't need to see. There you go. We're rocking this interesting build because why not? But as I was saying before, Sheldon Sampler Challenge, that specific challenge was the first one that ran with this random idea. This was the Splat Zone Challenge. The next one we had, the Dress Up Showdown Challenge, that was Tower Control. This is a challenge back on Splat Zones, which I think that the random weapon stuff works better with Splat Zones than Tower Control, honestly. Mainly just because of how Tower Control is very weapon dependent a lot of the time, so if you didn't have weapons specifically that were good for getting people off tower, it made things a lot harder in that challenge, but Splat Zones, it's very much like Turf War, so it's very easy to figure out weapons here in comparison, and you have a lot more leeway with things because of that. So I think this is a better one for a randomized weapon challenge. What we're going to get with our N-Parry Dualies here. Special Saver, that's not bad because we're going to be dying a lot with these weapons, so I am fine with that. So, game 3, game 4, whatever, technicality, our real game 3 here. I'm going to move in immediately. Ooh, careful there. Just want to get back. I got to heal up a little bit because I have like no health. Gonna just throw one of my curlings just to pressure. Come on, Dynamo, got him. Good. Swim away, hurry up. At this point, I'm just gonna pressure from behind. Cool. Probably should have used my special there, but I want to see how much do I actually keep with my special from this maxed special save. Oh my gosh, I kept it all. Wow. That's never a real thing. Oh, now, oh man, I'm half tempted to build out a set of gear that's nothing but special saver now because of this. I kind of want to see if that's a real thing. I don't think that's really possible normally. I don't think it is. So that's a little extreme, but our gear got maxed out. And that's not normally a value we can deal with in the base Splatoon 3, so this is more special save than we're supposed to have. And after this is said and done, I am going to make a build of nothing but special saver on a site called Sendu.inc, and I'm going to compare its values, because anytime I need to build out gear, I always go to Sendu.inc and just build something on that platform, because it gives you the exact numbers for your set abilities. So if you're unsure what exactly for weapons or what value specifically for like a quick respawn build or something, you want to use that platform. It's very, very simple to use, but it tells you a lot of information about basically everything in Splatoon. Weapon data, the specials, your sub powers and such. Like, it tells you everything you need to know, all your gear abilities. It's where I always go if I need to get some information about Splatoon. Gotta be careful here. Got a lot going on, but I'm gonna just use my splashdown now, the cap zone, and there we go. We got our control back. Gotta build down that penalty and try to get this down here as much as we can. I have noticed though that we do have a lot of special charge on our range blaster, and that's probably best for them because they can actually hit specials. Range blaster doesn't normally paint that much. Oh man, that was a really bad angle to actually go in with my dually roll. It's not great. It doesn't look like there's a great time to ready jump back in. I have seen our other dually is a lot of quick respawn, excuse me. So they can come right back in the action really fast, and that's really good. But we do have a massive disadvantage here because we have one teammate that can come back almost instantly, but their entire team on the opposing side can come back instantly because they have Tacticoler. So they have a bigger advantage when it comes to that specific special, allowing their players to just do a lot more. But at this point, I'm just going to splash down the mid, take out one opponent in the process, take this guy out with a roll, get up here, get the dually, or not the dually, I'm the dually, get the dynamo, excuse me. Careful here, do not stay in the brush's line of sight. Got him, nice. We're just dominating at this point. Want to keep this up so we get that lead change. Okay, don't know how the dynamo killed me from nowhere near its range. That's interesting. A little bit of a lag thing going on there. I can jump in safely here as long as I'm not in these strikes because I can just roll out of the way. Roll here. They got the one that's jumping in. And at this point, if they can hold the zone for a little bit more, my team will secure the victory. But unfortunately, right at the end, we lost control. So could have had it in a knockout, but now we got to work a little bit harder for it. It might not be a knockout win, but we still can get the win. So let's push for that. No chance. No chance, Rush. Oh, I couldn't even see what was there. Oh, there was a mine. I could not anticipate that in time at all. There's just so much going on. Alright, jump back in. This looks like a safe spot, especially because someone just got spotted as I was getting ready to come in. That's perfect. Keep on panning around the area. Careful here. Get some strikes. I don't want to stay back. Aim for missiles. Definitely stay back once again. Oh my god, there are too many missiles in one spot. Can't deal with all the missiles. Looks like it's just our blaster left, but we're coming down the last 20-ish seconds here, so at this point we do have a little bit of a problem going to the last end of the game here, but if we can push, that's 3 in a row. We just go in at this point. Come on. Good, we got him. Use my triple splashdown, paint this area, and that's a GG's. There we go. Finally, we got a win on the board. And I'm happy it was with the Imperi dualies, because I really like these dualies. It's a weapon I get to use quite a lot when I'm just wanting to play casually. I'll just pick up a dualie every once in a while, and specifically it's Imperi. I just really love the flow of this kit. It's really fun to use. So, with that done, I am curious about one other thing, though. The star count on these weapons. Unfortunately, I have no easy way of really seeing how much freshness I get on a weapon, because you get any weapon in this challenge to pick from, and the problem is, I own all of them. And I've used almost all of them, so I have no easy way of checking what exactly I need to use and what I can't use, stuff like that. I don't know. So, that's gonna complicate this. No easy way for me to really check. Best I can do is just look at a value and think, is that different? I don't know. I think that might have changed. Like, I can't tell you. I honestly cannot. If it's a weapon I know I haven't really played much of, that would be great. But unfortunately, that's kind of random at this point. But let's put on something else to wear as a headpiece, because we're getting stuff here. In fact, I'm going to do the same with the shoes, too, because I think it would just make sense to wear kind of whatever. Then I can scrub this gear. Actually, let's get something that's not as ugly. Yeah, there you go. I like those shoes better. I'm cool with this. This is the drip I'll go with. And a very good back and forth between the two different teams, too, looking at that overall score. Not bad. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 4 here, and hopefully get ourselves some good rolls of the weapon and the gear abilities. Alright, so back at Hagglefish. Let's see what we got. The weapon is... Ooh, hang on. I think I can actually check this weapon, because I haven't used the tri-stringer all too much. I have an idea. I gotta check this during one of my deaths, but I can check the app on the phone. I can check on the Splatnet app, and I can tell you an exact value here of what this weapon is. I need to actually 1-star this. This is perfect for me. I've only played a handful of games at most with this stringer. So, it's going to be a very low value of freshness here. Alright, well, at least we got some other team done. That's good. At this point, I have to load up the app, like, now. Because we don't have much time. I'm just loading the app up prematurely. See me looking down my phone? I'm getting data. This is all for you. And also for me, to be fair. I want to know these values. Alright, cool. Push in. Just keep on painting the area. Got a guy behind us. That's not great. We do have all of our special save on again, which is not going to be as helpful for this weapon as it was last time around, just because I'm not going to be utilizing the special nearly as much as my previous special with Splashdown. It looks like my team is doing a good job contesting zone right now, so that's good. Keep that up. I'm just going to stay over here from a distance because I am our long-range fighter here along with the oil string. So I'm going to stay here from a distance to just kind of peck things off. But there's a lead change. Ooh, nice. I got one of the fall-off shots here. Love to see it. Nice. Got an assist there. Keep on working towards that set point difference. There you go. I'm going to ink myself back up. Keep it going. At this point, I do have myself all my weapon data loaded up. I am waiting for a great moment to check that because I want to see what is this weapon now and what is it going to be later. As long as I don't refresh the page, it's not going to change. All right, this is going to be really scary. All right, cool. We're pretty much out of special, I believe. All right, at this point, I'm going to sort these weapons really fast because I don't have much time here. I got to do main weapons. And now I should be good. So I have my data. I even have it loaded up in front of me. I can see exactly how much freshness this stringer has. So we're good to go. Now let's focus on the actual game. Oh, bad. Oh, close. Gotta just chill over here in my ink. Just gonna keep on shooting wider shots this time around to force out this said brush. Use my special, push him back to kill a whale. At this point, we're having peak stringer gameplay. This is literally what you do as a stringer player if you want to have the maximum amounts of, well, just in general usage of the weapon here for this kind of mode. You just gotta chill from a distance and snipe things off. At this point, I'm also trying to help on painting zone a bit. And I knew someone was coming up in my corner. I was getting ready for it, but it's a brush, so they are way faster than me. That's a fast brush, too, at all max swim speed. That's the build you want to have if you're a brush. But we lost lead. That's unfortunate. Can't really do too much here to help my team in terms of painting the zone. I'm not the best painter, so they got to paint this up fast. Who I got to kill? I think it was with Killer Whale. It's really hard to say. I'm going to move in a little bit and kind of just defend things in the middle here as well. Let me get up on their perch. Cool. Keep it up. you don't. I'm not gonna stay there because I will die. I'm just gonna paint. The most I can do. Okay, high hammer. The most I can do to paint. I'm gonna have a hammer thrown in my face, so, oops. Gonna jump here right near where a spawn is, but this is still faster than just swimming over. I pecked off a little bit of damage on this dually. There you go. Got them. Get out of here, Tetris. Push them back with Killer Whale. Hopefully my team can start moving in now, because we kind of need to. I need to move in, too. I gotta help, because we don't have much time here, and we need the paint zone. We also have a pretty big penalty to work down. So this is going to be a really tough push, but we need to make a big push to win this. We're going to have to do it via overtime. It's going to be our only way. All right, throw this. Give him a little bit of problematic movement spots with the Toxic Mist. If I'm painting, we need zone like now. I am like terrible at paint. Like, I'm really not doing much of the paint. And it doesn't help. Every time I turn around, there's a sprinkler and then a dude next to me. Come on. All right, keep it up. I'm going to throw this right here. Get ready. Take him out. Now we're in overtime, so we got to keep this lead going for the rest of the game. It's the only way we can win now. We got to keep this overtime push. Checking my surroundings here to make sure no one else is coming in. Nice. All right, keep it up. Now we're actually gaining points, so we got to go to 8. If we get to 8, then we're good. So far, so good. Keep it up. Keep it up. There it is. We took the lead in overtime. Let's go. That overtime push is exactly what we needed to get first place. Gotta love to see it. All right, so for curiosity's sake, I have loaded up my specific weapon here in question. And I have the freshness amount on the said app on my phone. I'm not going to be showing it here on the actual layout, but I will be able to show a said screenshot once we get into the inventory list, because we will be seeing exactly what the weapon says. First things first, let's see what we got on our gear. I'm going to keep on selecting one slot things to the other two pieces here, because that doesn't really matter. So let's change out our gear. But first things first, let's go to that tri-stringer, because right now, according to my data on the Splatnet app on my said phone, next freshness up for me should be 3,500 points. If I look here, it's still the same, so it's not looking like to me that this is actually giving me any freshness for this said weapon. It's looking basically like you're getting drip fed something. That it just for the gear, not specifically for the weapon, which was very similar to the other Sheldon randomized challenges. You didn't get anything for that specific weapon. You just got, and same for the gear too. You didn't get anything when you had the gear ability shuffle going on too. So it's looking very similar there. You're not getting experience for the said weapons you're getting, which is a little unfortunate, but honestly, I'm not too surprised. In fact, this weapon randomizer is probably even just pulling from weapons in our actual inventory, because nothing about this specific challenge said, hey, we'll lend you weapons, unlike other ones. I mean, reading those specific challenges from before, too, where Sheldon lent you weapons, but not here. It's not at least saying anything specific. I'm looking, too. Yeah, he loaned out weapons for Dress Up Showdown. Looking at the Sheldon sampler, he did a very similar thing here as well, lending you a said loadout. But for this challenge, it never said anything about giving you a random weapon graciously. So this specific Sheldon challenge may be actually pulling from your weapon listing. I have no easy way of really checking that, unfortunately, because I own every weapon. So I cannot verify this, unfortunately. I do believe that is the case, though, from what I'm seeing. Hey, another my quick super jump. Let's test it. Yeah, that's instant. All right, cool. That's what I figured. I've actually made a build that's very similar to this, so I'm not too shocked on this front. This is a very fast jump build. But final game back on Hagglefish, so this has been our fan favorite map from the randomizer. We keep on playing it. Take out immediately someone there with an assist. I do see that beacon, go away. They do have Tacticooler here, so they're gonna have a lot of buffs on the opposing side. But we have some pretty powerful weapons, so that's gonna help our front. And then a Goo Trooper. Look, not to put down Goo Troopers, it's just they're really hard to use, and you know, like most people here are never using Goo Trooper or any kind of sniper that's fair. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Goo Trooper's gonna be the one that struggles the most, and that's very fair. Alright, jump back again because we have instant jumping. Take out their beacon here. Oh, God. That, yeah. I had a feeling because the problem is I have a paintbrush and I have no ink with paintbrush. This thing takes a lot of ink. So I gotta be really careful. I shouldn't have jumped, apparently. I seen it the moment I clicked the button. There was no going back. I was committed. Alright, I'm not jumping this time. That's stupid. I want to jump as much as possible with a maxed out quick super jump build. But that is not a thing I recommend doing in most cases. Don't jump every single time you have to get back into the game. That's not a great idea. Alright, careful here. Traded. I would say that's okay, but unfortunately that's with someone with a tactical buff, so they're immediately back in the action. While we had to wait that one out a little bit longer. Alright, come on. Come out. Let's fling over here a little bit to my right. I do see the bubble, so there's a blob up here on the rooftops. Oh, there's the well string down below. I'm not having a good moment. The moment I get my special, I want to deploy it. I just don't want to risk it. So it's like, the moment I have it, I want to get into a clearing, be safe first. I don't have that time. I see it over here. Okay, never mind. Like, I see a weapon. I'm gonna go after that weapon. Weapon died. Man, well, string has an advantage over paintbrush. Just saying. Go, Kraken, go. Avenge me. At this point, we basically got this game on lock. The other team has a lot more they gotta come back from, but it's still possible. They got control, which means now we got a penalty. So we gotta work towards getting this penalty removed. It's gonna take a little bit, but we can manage. It's okay. Okay. Got one opponent down. That's fine. Wellstring's the only one left. They're using their stamp, but there's a stamp battle happening in mid from what I can see. Seeing this opponent still alive. I imagine this guy's just kind of chilling down here, so I'm gonna throw my curling, which should hopefully fish them out. Be careful. Hey, there we go. Waiting for someone to pop out. I'm gonna die here. Yeah, the moment I pull out my special, too, it didn't even matter. It's like, you saw it for one frame, if you were lucky. I'm gonna jump over here on the edge. Be careful. Oh, okay, there's someone behind us. Good thing I have my sensitivity up to max on my analog stick, so I can just immediately turn around. Kind of important. Okay, gotta be careful there. They're coming in. You can't get me. I super jump fast. So far, the other team has not got the zone fully covered yet. Ah, there we go. I was waiting for it. As soon as I said it, I expected this to happen. Careful the ink storm. Don't want to be caught in it for too long. Alright, finally I can put down this stupid wave breaker of mine. Every time I got the wave breaker, I can never use it. This is the first time I've been able to actually use the wave breaker. Had a feeling, but I was gonna say if my teammate could take advantage of this, and then they immediately got killed inside of their special. That's really bad. Ah, man. Unfortunately, I'm surrounded by death, so I gotta pick which angle to shoot. None of them are great. It's now a very bad situation. Only one of us is around, and the other team has gotten zoned. We're in the last 10 seconds. If they start getting points, it's gonna be very close for them to start actually gaining score. And if they can gain score, they win in overtime. So we don't want to see that. I got the dually, but they are dangerously close to getting that penalty down and taking over the zone. I'm gonna jump in here, and it looks like it doesn't matter for my sake. Good, because we got that lead back, which means we won the game. I was worried that was gonna be like the last game where we took it in overtime, except that was from the opposing side. Could have easily happened. But that's going to do it for this Sheldon Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge. We got ourselves 3 wins and 2 losses. Keeping up with that streak of the 3-2. I'm happy about that. But now we get to see what exactly is our challenge power at the end of all this. 1990, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that power, just from the preliminary alone. I still have more of this to play because, I got more games to get to my token, so I'm not done anytime soon. But for now, let's hit stop and reflect on this said challenge, because there is still certain values I'm curious about. So we are going to get an idea about certain things here. I am going to pull up a platform called Sendu.inc, and I will show you in real time what exactly you should expect from having a very specific amount of, say, the special saver from the dually game we had. So, as I am getting this all set up, I will say this was an interesting challenge, and I think it's a really cool take on having the randomized weapon stuff, especially given how your abilities this time is all different too. That's a pretty cool difference in my opinion. But you never know what to expect, and having maxed abilities is really interesting just to see how much exactly you can max out. But we need to see how much exactly we can max out. So this is a site called Sendu.inc. This is the competitive Splatoon hub. You can go here to get a bunch of information about Splatoon. As I mentioned before, it's a great place to see how specific values work with Splatoon when it comes to your gear, how your weapons perform and such. So we're going to go to Build Analyzer here, and we're going to just get ourselves that end parry and see how exactly this stacks up when it comes to the special saver here, because special for this, if we look, we can see special loss when splatted. The base value is 50%. Now, we had a maxed out special save build, and that goes down to 0% specifically. So let me zoom this in so you guys can see it better. We go from a base value of 50 to 0. So this challenge essentially gives you the max amount of abilities on your gear, and this is the same as if you built out a max of any specific build. And mind you, for example, this is the same as if you say had a Tacticooler, because with Tacticooler enabled, if we take away all of these specifics, notice here the build still says 0, because with Tacticooler you just get max special saver as well. So for us specifically, before when we were playing with the end parry dualies, having nothing but the special saver as our main and subs, that gave us the same as having a Tacticooler advantage. And in terms of the other ability we saw before, in our previous build, all of the max being quick super jump, we can see here on movement, super jump time in total goes from a base of about 3.5 seconds, somewhere around there, to about 2 seconds. So it's not as much of a jump as you really think when you look at the max value. This is why for the most part you're good with really just running, just say 1 to 2 subs. As you can see, that makes a pretty substantial difference with just having subs alone. But you don't necessarily need to have nothing but the quick super jumps. And one of my teammates, for example, having nothing but quick respawn is one final thing to look at. You can see your respawn time goes from 7.5 seconds to 3.5. Mind you, taking away all of this, you can even see, again, Tacticooler, 3.5. It's the same as having nothing but all quick respawn. So some of this you might have already experienced playing Splatoon 3 normally because of Tacticooler specifically, as that specific special, when you get to work with very specific loadouts, it maximizes values anyways. And Tacticooler, that's a special that's on a healthy amount of weapons, and especially in top play. You usually see people playing a lot of Tri-Slosher Nouveau and Snipe Rider 5H and Zap 85, and you'll even see a decent amount of like heavy edit splatling as well for cooler output. pretty much every single one of these weapons in some fashion sees some use because of Tacticooler, which means you may have seen the quick respawn, the special saver, and the quick super jump values already just by playing the game normally. But those other values, on the other hand, having a bunch of, say, bomb defense or sub-resist up in this case, or having a bunch of ink saver main, that's stuff you normally don't really see. The most you might see with stuff like this is if you're running this stuff in a build, and then say with like the ink saver stuff, you combine a bunch of ink saver main with last ditch effort to maximize the amounts of ink saver main possible on a build. It would be a lot, but still not as much as how this challenge is offering specific values anyway. So it's a very interesting challenge. I do like the idea of maxing out abilities to their fullest capabilities. So I think this one's a lot of fun, and hopefully you got a chance to play this when it was in rotation, and if not, hopefully this makes a return in the near future. But that is going to do it for today's video. And again, this may possibly be our final brand new challenge in Splatoon 3. Given how Nintendo promised only 2 years of updates for Splatoon, I'm very certain going into Drizzle Season 2024, I don't expect to see any new challenges, so this may be the last challenge video you see specifically of Splatoon 3, or at least in this said style. We might come back to Splatoon 3 at some point in the future with self-imposed challenges, like how I kind of started with this game originally, but in terms of the challenge mode itself, it's maybe our final time looking at these specific challenges for the very first time, so it's kind of a bittersweet feeling. Maybe that won't be true, maybe I'm just making it up. We don't know until the next season comes out, but that's gonna do it for this said challenge. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.